Making Societal Impact Through Action Research, case H2 Ecosystem Roadmap for Ostrobothnia. We live in a time fraught with uncertainty and a pressing need to act on the global problems we are facing. As researchers, citizens and leaders, we are compelled to try to find ways to counteract the climate crisis, solve threats to international security, and strengthen the resilience of our societies. But we deal with a world and a reality that is characterized by complex problems, volatility and knowledge ambiguity. How can we as academics enhance understanding of these complex phenomena so that our research can make societal impact and be a force for the greater good? As an aspiring scholar, a demanding question that I have been asking myself is, what should the role of research and science be? How could I contribute with my own work to enhance our collective ability to tackle these pressing concerns related to issues of sustainability and prosperity? The approach and perspective that has inspired me is a participatory and action research view on research. In this research approach, a core motivation for doing research in the first place is to be relevant and useful for solving pressing problems and improving social conditions. The guiding principle of the approach is to enable stakeholders to participate and develop the content and processes of the research together with the researcher. The focus of the research is on action and practice, where the researcher takes an active role and establishes interactive relations with the participants. By doing this, the aim is to do research that is relevant for the needs of the ones the researcher engages with. In this video, I will present the H2 Ecosystem Roadmap for Ostrobothnia project as one example of how to make societal impact by applying a participatory and action research approach to the work that we do as academics. I want to take you on a journey that starts from the beginning of this project, and by recounting the process, give some reflections on the most important learnings. The roots of this project grew out of a smaller collaboration project between Hanken and Novia University of Applied Sciences, where the role of green hydrogen as a potential key technology in the transition to CO2-neutral societies and industries was spotted. The initiation of the H2 Ecosystem Roadmap for Ostrobothnia is thus an exemplary case of how important it is to spot weak signals in the society around us and act proactively upon these. 2 years ago, in the summer of 2020, green hydrogen had not yet surfaced in the everyday news media, but was mostly discussed in Finland among core experts in the field of green alternatives to fossil fuels and new technological solutions for renewable energy storage. In the EU, and among many other global players, analysis of green hydrogen's role in the energy transition had, however, been circulating for more than a decade. And this work started to take momentum with the EU Commission's launch of a hydrogen strategy for a climate-neutral Europe in the summer of 2020. In this report, the Commission stated the reasons for why hydrogen was seen as an important part of the green transition of EU. Not only was it a substance that could function as a green alternative in many different applications across industries, but most importantly, its characteristic of not emitting CO2 and almost no air pollution when used would offer a solution to decarbonize industrial processes and economic sectors where reducing carbon emissions is both urgent and otherwise hard to achieve. What we saw back then was that Finland, and especially the Ostrobothnia region, was lagging very much behind in knowledge about green hydrogen and its role for the region's transition towards climate neutrality. We felt that the holistic mapping and update of the green hydrogen-related knowledge and activities was acutely needed, and close cooperation between a broad base of actors. Universities, large companies, small and medium-sized enterprises, development organizations, and municipalities should be started in order to get together the actors that could lead forward this development. We started to gather together a core group of organizations and companies with an interest in green hydrogen and a willingness to support a local ecosystem development project and look for means for financing it. Our initial contacts included municipalities here in the region, regional development companies, both SMEs and large companies working with the green transition, as well as other universities and higher education institutions. After some negotiations, 3 higher education institutions formed the core team of the project: Hanken School of Economics, VAMK University of Applied Sciences, and Novia University of Applied Sciences. Since this project was clearly a regional project, it became natural to find funding from the institution that is responsible for regional development. In this case, this meant that we started with an application process to get funding from the Regional Council of Ostrobothnia. The core purpose of the project H2 Ecosystem Roadmap for Ostrobothnia was clarified through several iterative rounds of discussions, both with the potential funder and the core team. Through these rounds, the aim and goal of the project became crystallized: to create a roadmap for the Ostrobothnian actors and how they can build successful ecosystems around green hydrogen technologies. The project was to be focused around 3 core activities: building a regional network of actors with an interest in green hydrogen, conducting literature reviews and background research for building up knowledge base for the role of green hydrogen technology as part of the system-level solutions, and supporting the development of new business opportunities in the region related to green hydrogen through facilitating workshops and organizing network activities. The lodestar of all these activities and the ultimate purpose of the project was to support the region's development and transition to a CO2-neutral society by putting in focus the opportunities and challenges related to green hydrogen. The project started with a survey study aiming to map actors interested in the green hydrogen in the Ostrobothnia region. This was sent out to 191 companies, out of which 31 responses were received. The survey and subsequent company interviews were conducted in collaboration with the regional development company VASEC, resulting in the publication of a report on the role of small and medium-sized companies in the future global hydrogen economy. This was also launched in an online webinar. In order to disseminate knowledge continuously as the project proceeded, we launched a project website, a site where our goal has been to gather information about the H2-related activities in the Ostrobothnia region and publish results from the project activities. An important part of making an impact is disseminating the knowledge that is acquired through the research to a broad base of stakeholders. We have sought to do this by publishing during the project in more practitioner-oriented local outlets such as the Vasa Insider and taking part in different local events such as the Science Carnival, where we arranged a panel discussion on the opportunities of open innovation ecosystems for the hydrogen economy. Through the interviews and discussions with different stakeholders, insight into the different roles and activities of actors in the region was gained, and a map of an emerging ecosystem in the region of Ostrobothnia is taking shape. Building value propositions and new business related to green hydrogen is multifaceted, requiring collaboration and alignment of a diverse set of different actors. A prerequisite for starting these collaborations is, of course, finding the right partners to work with. The importance of networking and the role of networks in facilitating the formation of new contacts and identifying potential partners is thus essential. With this prerequisite in mind, arranging seminars and webinars has been a central activity of our project. By getting different actors together to discuss challenges and opportunities and find new ways forward for development and collaboration, our project has facilitated participation and engagement of key stakeholders that have the ability to work for developing the hydrogen initiatives further. In November, we arranged a whole-day event together with the National Hydrogen Network in Vaasa and a first seminar and workshop, which served as a kick-off to the networking and co-creation activities of the project. The second big milestone for the project was the webinar event arranged in February with over 80 participants interested to hear and discuss pilot and demonstration projects and ideas related to green hydrogen in the Ostrobothnia region. 5 different cases were presented and discussed in 5 workshops. Reflecting upon these experiences from the events, what can be said is that face-to-face meetings are an important part of getting to know each other and building trust between potential new partners that can start to collaborate. Due to the lockdowns during the pandemic, individuals seem to have a real need to start meeting other people face-to-face again. However, participatory and action research is possible through digital means as well. With careful planning and utilization of digital tools for efficient facilitation and getting expert speakers on board will enable very insightful and fruitful workshops also online. At the core of all the activities in the project has been to collaborate with a broad base of different actors and to engage the practitioners to become involved as much as possible. Without engaging in collaboration with others, utilizing the networks and gaining insights from different organizations, both locally, on a national level, and on an international level, the project work would not have been successful, and we would not have been able to attract so much interest for our activities. Finding the individuals that share the same interests and motivation to collaborate on the topic of your research is the key. For this project, it has been essential to work in close collaboration with the regional development companies and the National Hydrogen Network, as well as getting on board the funder, the Council of Ostrobothnia in the first place. This has enabled the project to gain momentum for engaging a broad base of companies, municipalities and the education institutions in our region to start working on green hydrogen-related initiatives. As of February 2022, more than 120 individuals have in some way taken part in the project activities and expressed interest in exploring collaboration activities around hydrogen-related activities in the Ostrobothnia and Kvarken region. To conclude, I would like to offer some reflections on why I think this type of a project is important for making societal impact, and what difference a participatory and action research approach can make. The aim of the project could be summed up in 3 different main targets. First, our aim has been to facilitate the accumulation and spreading of knowledge related to an important key technology for the green transition, namely green hydrogen. I believe that taking an action research approach has enabled us to really be on the edge of what is happening in the field, not just reading the academic literature, which is often a few years behind. Second, our aim has been to attract interest among different actors for the possibilities of this particular solution to the green transition, and arrange activities that can support the development of new pilot and demonstration projects that can develop the region towards enhanced climate neutrality. What this research clearly exemplifies is that innovations and solutions that will be needed to tackle the pressing problems of our time will not be created by any single actor alone, but will need collaboration between several actors whose knowledge and resources complement each other. This project has definitely had an impact in getting a broader base of actors to discuss together and work towards a common vision. Third, our aim has been to address the complexity of the green transition, developing a common roadmap and vision of the future. Our aim is to bring more clarity into possible ways forward. Through this project, we can see that there is a real need to challenge existing thinking of what each actor's role is and how to best fulfill each role. So, what is my final message? Making societal impact should be a key concern for every researcher. My own approach through this H2 Ecosystem project has been to apply an action research way of working. However, this has implied that I, as a researcher, can no longer be a neutral observer, but need to take on a role as an active change agent myself. I firmly believe that by engaging with others across organizational, disciplinary, and institutional borders, our research work can achieve great impact. To do this, we need to concern ourselves with the pressing challenges of today, find collaborators, and take action. This is a time when we are called to action through participation, and by this, make our research relevant.